Good morning, everybody. Hope you guys are all doing absolutely fantastic. Just a reminder, everything we're about to do is just for educational and entertainment purposes only. We do not trade with live funds, and this is strictly just used to demo and paper trade. Just give me just a minute or so. I'm going to tag everybody on our Discord just to make sure they all know that we're here. But I'm excited to be with you all live for this Friday session. It does seem like it's going to be a pretty chill session. There's a lot of neutral movement on the chart, and I'll show you what I mean as we get going, but excited to be with you guys live nonetheless. So just give me 1 second. I got 2 more Discord tags to send out to all of our members. Just a reminder where we're at right now. And one more. All right. But Tony, Ryan, Flynn, which I believe is Loose Pot, Dabo, and Jeff, good morning. Pretty chill Friday. I'm going to start marking up the charts and looking forward to seeing how New York goes as we get closer to that open. Right now, pretty easy. The ES is neutral. Actually, you know what? I have a better idea today. I'll just do it like this, and we'll just write neutral. And then maybe we actually can make the text bigger. There we go. So right now, that asset is neutral. The NQ center left is in a bullish confirmation, but we can't take the idea. US 30 is in a bearish confirmation from the entire day, and right now potentially like any type of sniper entry. But first thing I want to do is just try to draw like the potential risk to reward. It's smaller than our average. The stop loss is bigger. And then reminder, what I teach you guys, that if you're going to take this idea, you want that risk to reward to be like a 1.92 to a 2R. They've definitely given you ample opportunity to get into any type of 2R or even the exact 1.92 for any of this, right? So we'll leave that on here and check some other stuff real quick. The SQQQ is bearish, which means what? If you guys get a moment to tell me if that SQQQ is bearish, what's the only thing that we should be looking for? And so just a reminder, SQQQ is bearish. So the only thing we would look for right now is longs if they are confirmed. That tells us that that short on the the US 30 is a bad idea. So that just means there's a less likelihood that that US 30 short is going to be a win. Cool. Let's check the other indexes. Let me copy and paste this over so I don't got to keep typing it. If the ES is neutral, there's a high probability that the SPY is also neutral, which it is. The QQQ is also neutral, so it's not bullish, similar to the NQ, so it's another neutral asset. The Russell looks like somebody put it to sleep. Usually the Russell has a lot more volatility, and it is neutral. So we have 3 straight neutral assets on SPY, QQQ, and Russell. And now on the stock side, Apple is neutral, Microsoft is neutral, and then Nvidia is bearish at the moment, matching what US 30 wants to be. And then Amazon, opposite of that, Amazon is looking for calls at New York Open, but these are all going to change. Put the note here. This is the outlook for NYSE Open. Can't take ideas until NYSE opens. These will change potentially right before open. And we'll keep tracking them as we get closer and closer. So if we're taking stock, True Algo members, you've got a neutral ES a bullish NQ. Can't take the idea either way. We have a bearish US 30, and then the SQQQ is telling us to look for longs. So we know that the US 30 is a bad idea. The Russell is neutral, so it doesn't support US 30. QQQ and SPY are both neutral, so they're both telling us not to be in any ideas. And then 2 out of 4 stocks are neutral, and then the other 2 are in conflict. So right now, you guys tell me what would be the best idea to do. So you tell me if most things are neutral on the index future front, and currently there are no longs to be confirmed with confluence to take longs, what is the only thing we should do? And the answer is, you guys are correct, sit on our hands. So, Raf, I know you're asking why not take the NQ idea. If you took the NQ idea, just a reminder, you're not using the stats to help propel your win. I'm presuming the only reason why you took it is because when it confirmed bullish, the SQQQ confirmed bearish for your idea. Right now you're up about 50 handles, and they did simultaneously happen. That's totally fine. I just can't count it as a win into the stats. As long as you took it just because the ES was neutral and the NQ was telling you to look for longs with the SQ side, that's totally appropriate. But for the stats, it's on a position that I took. So I hope that helps. And then if you guys will give me a little bit, I will be right back. I apologize. I have an emergency real fast. I will be right back to the stream. Give me about 5 minutes. I won't turn the stream off. You guys will probably have to remind people. I'll be right back. Sorry. All right. I'm back. Apologies. And then my only worried, Raf, if you're still here, bud, is just I don't want to leave this position on here and think that people are supposed to be in it. Same thing like with the US 30. Though the US 30 you could be in, but I don't want people to think that they could keep getting into new longs on the NQ. But I'm going to start looking at the other asset classes now. If you guys have any questions, please let me know. So right now, gold and silver seem to be pretty wild as far as how big the average candles are. Gold right now is in an active long confirmation. It is trending bullish, but it's not in the green boxes. Silver's in an active short confirmation. So because of this, you can't take either idea. There was a winning short on gold a little bit ago to get down to this box. It's a very small move. Again, your risk to reward is poor. So taking the position is a bad idea. Even if with that little bit of retracement, it's still not even a 1R, but it was a valid short. And silver is at least valid. And so on that candle, any one of these would have been a pretty good opportunity. You're looking at right around a 2.5R on the position, but the stops still look terrible. I've been telling you guys to stay away from silver and gold just because the candles are larger, and True Algo, when it stacks all these boxes, it's trying to tell you to be very careful. Okay, so at the moment, the only thing that we could be in is shorts to push down on silver because gold was bearish as well, but gold is already done from hitting that box. And then over here on oil, oil was in a bearish confirmation, but this is, again, even though this is a win over here on the right side of my screen, the risk to reward is terrible. So why play for peanuts again? So no move to take. So that's what I meant again by it potentially being a more boring stream, because right now you are neutral. You are neutral over here. We'll see if those shorts finish out on silver. DXY is in a bullish confirmation. So if DXY is bullish, I'll put the note right here. It's not neutral. Ready? You guys can do this with me. DXY is bullish. So that means Euro, USD, the Pound USD, Aussie USD, and the New Zealand USD are all bearish. That's what you're looking for. You're looking for shorts, okay? And then USD, JPY, it's like the UJ, the UCAD are all bullish. That's all we should be looking for, nothing else. Cool? Easy thing to remember. Over here on the euro, there are active shorts. Average short looks like this. So we still have further to go to get that average win. And man, if you guys got into that sniper entrance, woo! It's a 6R, but you got to try to target level 4 first. Still in a 4.5R position, so it still looks good nonetheless. Let's see if the pound also has a short or a new short. Again, lots of small movements overnight on this Friday session. You can see the pound doesn't look as good. You're playing from a weekly box in between two daily boxes, so when you're looking for cleanliness of the chart, this would not be it. And then right here, just to show you guys, that would be the short, but like, how do you draw your position? Your stop loss goes above the box. Your take profit is this box here. You're playing for peanuts. And this is what I keep trying to teach you guys. Even if you make the risk to reward look really well, you're playing for less than half the average. The average is 310 pips, and this one is only 147. It's just not worth taking the idea. Okay, and so now let's check the Aussie, see if the Aussie has any shorts that are viable. Again, really, really small movements, like I keep teaching you guys. Aussie does look good. The only problem is it confirmed later. And right now the Aussie is going to be more neutral versus other pairs because it's neutral in our system by daily open. And the New Zealand is tiny too, so not going to be lots of moves. And you can see Forex, this is 3 out of the 4 major pairs look like they're in an area where the risk reward is poor or there's not enough of a move. So the only Forex pair I would trade right now is the euro versus the dollar. It's the only one. Everything else, I would stay away. Crypto folks, Bitcoin and Ethereum are both in valid long positions. Looking for something like this. It's about a $35 move on ETH. And then over here on good old Bitcoin, it's about a $1,000 move. Stop loss looks bad. It's barely a 1R. So on average, you want to flip that to a 1.92 to a 2R. If you did wait for it to retrace to that point, it is a 2R position. Looking for a $1,500 move on Bitcoin. There is one major red flag. And what do you guys see over here? And this is pretty rare. It doesn't happen often. But what's the problem right now? Can you guys see it? Tether is currently bullish. That means you should only look for bear moves on crypto. But Bitcoin and ETH are bullish. Therefore, you cannot trade crypto right now. You are asking to get chopped up in consolidation. Hope that makes sense. And again, if it doesn't, ask me questions. I'll help you. And that is all asset classes covered. It's going to be a boring stream. I apologize. Stream is going to be a little boring, as most assets are neutral. Therefore, we continue to sit on our hands and not force markets. This is a good way to not blow accounts. There's also a holiday on Monday, so potentially markets could be slowing down because people are already left for holiday. I'm not sure if you guys are all aware of that. There is a U.S. holiday. It's a banking holiday. I think markets they're still open like normal, but like the bonds are closed. Stock market is still open too. I'm going to type that over on our Discord side and the current outlook for the market. I know, I apologize, William. I mean, maybe they'll give it to us closer to New York. I would imagine, like, if you guys can all watch my screen, this would be the perfect situation for us. I mean, either one works. So just slowly grind up, get up here, get the same exact thing on the NQ, pop the double, and then get a bearish confirmation and get a nice short all the way down. That's beautiful. Be low stress too. And then if that doesn't happen, then this happens, which, by the way, this would be even better, and I'll show you why, because the stop loss management is really good, and you're going to get a really good sniper entry on the NQ like this. And so now, watch, we can get this. Look where the stop is, but you're going to be looking for something like this, so you're talking about a 150 handle move. And then on the ES, if we can get this at simultaneously, again, you would get the average, which is what we want. I mean, 22 handles, almost a 2R position. You see how good the stop looks? This would be perfect if we can get this activated. So the only way to get it activated is you have to wait for it to get activated. We don't force plays here. And if you can do that, it's a good way to not go broke or blow accounts, which is our goal here. We don't want to give the money back to the prop firms and things like that. We just want to be patient. Cool? So those are the two outlooks we can have. Right now, neither one is possible. And right now, we are 6 minutes away from the next close. So right now, it's just chill. But any questions you guys have, just let me know. I'm trying to update our Discord channel, so let me know if you have questions. So right now, I'm typing to you guys on Discord just so you guys have it. Right now, there's almost everything in the neutral position for index futures or conflict. But most things are saying to be neutral right now. There is no confluence for US 30 and Russell. No confluence for ES and NQ. Stocks are still mostly neutral. So everything is screaming for us to be neutral. Sit on your hands. There are shorts on Forex as DXY is bullish. Only the euro looks decent from a RR perspective. Crypto is a no zone because BTC, ETH, and Tether are all confirmed long. That is a major red flag. Wait for Tether to flip bearish. Then you can long crypto. And then silver is in an active short from earlier with gold. Gold is already finished. And oil just finished a short, so you are neutral. True Algo is telling you right now to just sit on your hands and do nothing. I hope all of that makes sense, and if it doesn't, you gotta ask questions so I can help you guys live. Cool? Raf, I can show you the euro, bud. So this is the euro on the right side. This is DXY on the left side. I'll put my notes over here. So as of right here, as of 4:30 a.m., DXY is confirmed bullish right here. And so when that happens, you are looking for reasons to long Forex pairs. And so that means the short got activated on the very next candle at 5 a.m. on the euro. This is what you're looking for. This risk reward, though, isn't worth it, right? On the initial position, I mean, even like right here, stop has to go a little bit further. The average should look like this on the euro versus the dollar. But the problem is on this average win, you have the True Algo trending box gets there first. So that's what you're really looking for. That's a negative R position. If you're a prop firm trader, this is not something you should take. Okay. So instead you let it retrace. I teach you guys to let it retrace to what, Raf? A 1.92 or 2R minimum to make plays worth it. So you can have a positive winning rate and a positive risk reward. Is combine both those two together and then you become a positive trader. And so from here, that first retracement point was a 165. It's close to our average. Reminder, it also says that it retraces back to the box 60% of the time. And then if you got in at that second entry point, that's a 5R position. And you're still short, by the way. And now listen, it's totally appropriate if you take profit right here, but it's still short. The only thing we can look for is lower, even if you're not in the euro short. Let me know if there's what the question is now on that, and I will help answer it, bud. Here to help. And again, I apologize when markets are slow, and I know it's not something I should apologize for, but nonetheless, it is going to be a little bit of a more boring stream, especially for a Friday too. To be this neutral, we're really close to weekly open as well, which I don't think most traders are aware of. So it just means we're not very far from the weekly open. And then True Algo members, one thing to take into account right now is we do have a bullish beacon available on US 30 over here. And right now that has a 86% chance to be cleared. And why is the weeklies turned off? All right, let me read what you said now, buddy. And just so you guys can see what Flynn, which again is loose pot, if my memory serves me correct, he's just telling us this. If we get into a short potential. This is your stop on on the NQ, right? So look over here. You would never take that position. So if price does come up and confirm short, don't play this asset. Or as soon as it confirms short right here, what do? You wait till this happens. Then you would then take a short. You do not take a short like this because this is how you get wrecked in markets. This is a terrible risk reward, so you don't take the trade. When this happens, you can check to see if the ES provides a potential position that you can control better. So this would be the average. That let us know this. If this is the average win, your stop loss would have to extend because you have two boxes stacked on each other. So now your stop loss is wider. Your take profit looks great because it has room to run. You know what I mean? So, but again, you need to make this a positive R position, get to that 2R. That means I would try to target the double stack box here, push up, and then be even better if it comes and does this. But you can't target this to start. You have to target the average, which is a 22 handle move win 72% of the time. So we shall wait. I'm going to put this note over here real quick. US 30 is the only thing short. Everything else is neutral, including Russell or long. That means this short is a bad idea. You guys know that as we get closer to New York, we actually want the US 30 to be opposite of the ES and NQ. But right now, we're not there yet. We got another 25 minutes before we get there. And I will update that as we get closer to that New York Open. West is correct. I am talking about the CFD side. I can put up the 6 series too. The 6 series might not have as good of a short. But again, no matter what, the DXY is bullish, so you should be looking to short the Euro or the 6 series. And by the way, the 6 series was even better. The 6 series, you didn't get that retracement once the short confirmed, and now this is the average win on the Euro is 40. Again, this is talking about the 6 series. Looks like this. It's pretty insane. This is the average win, guys, 40. And look where it stopped, like to the absolute tick and then retrace. You're still only looking to go lower. But like, look, I just want to show you guys so I'm not, I'm not blowing smoke. The average win we tell you is 40. It gave you exactly 40 to the tick. It's pretty wild. So whether you're on the future series for Forex or using the CFD side, both of them are still short. And by the way, you can see DXY live pushing up now, and then we should continue to push lower on the Euro side. Let me know if you guys want me to stay on the 6 series, which is futures, or the CFD side for most of you guys that are on prop firms. I can go either way. Oil just produced, when we talked about that, a potential, I mean, it just produced this short, but again, the risk reward is terrible. So like you got to sit there and do nothing. And then True Algo members that have been with me for a long time, I just want you to be aware of how low oil is right now. We just took the recent lows of like everything except for June. And so oil is going to get really, really cheap, but you're starting to get into COVID prices before I was going to say spill off. That would have been a really bad joke. But oil is hitting that point where it's going to potentially get into massive swing long territory because you're hitting $60 a barrel. It's extremely cheap. And so that's going to pose for some fun options next week on oil. And by the way, silver is going a little bit further in our favor on the current shorts that it's in. Reminder, gold is in longs, but you can't take longs because silver is short. And gold was short earlier. Get these drawings that we're looking for. That way I don't cause confusion. Did I write it wrong in the sentiment channel, West? There are shorts. Oops, there are shorts on Forex. No, I wrote it right. There are shorts on Forex as DXY is bullish. Only the euro US dollar shorts look decent from a risk reward perspective. So that is correct. Let me know if I said that wrong. I apologize if I did, but it looks good from what I posted. Might as well just watch that play because we can't do anything else. You'll see the CFD side is just put in a new, I'm getting ready to put in a new low. But either one worked. That 6 series is just glorious. And by the way, some of you, if you're not a member, you might be like, hey, that's a bullish candle that closed above that box. That's a loss. You would have lost right there. We teach confluence with our positions. The only way to take this long right here on euro, so something like this, is you have to have a short activated on DXY to support it, just like what we're in right now. And as you can see on that candle, there was not a single short on DXY. DXY was neutral, so you don't take the idea. And then as soon as DXY confirmed bullish, that's when the euro confirmed bearish, and now you are in winning shorts, and we are looking to go lower. You can't take longs right now. You have to just look to go lower and lower. Congrats, West. Forex, again, guys, is the easiest thing, I believe, to trade the longer you use our system, even though it's probably the least asset that many of you guys trade. If you want me to do any of the minor pairs, let me know. Somebody pick a minor pair, and then we can go live exactly how to trade it without looking at the chart. So somebody pick a minor pair. A minor pair means it can't have USD in it. It has to be something against each other that's not US dollar. And just so you guys know, like I usually know loose pot pretty well. I'm guessing it's from this short here, not from right there. So this is where he took it. But I could be wrong. We'll see. So Mr. Bill wants to see the Canadian versus the yen. Okay, so this is good. I think it's pretty ironic that you both said the same one. That's pretty cool. Okay, so check this out. So this is pretty easy. The DXY is bullish. So overall, the UCAD should be bullish and the yen should be bullish because they start with USD. So the way we do this now is we track where the Canadian is first, then the yen second, and then that will produce the play. So let me show you. Ready? First things first, pop up the UCAD, and we want to mark where it is. So in our system, check this out. So right now the UCAD is sitting at the DS system. You guys see that? And so reminder, this starts with USD, so that means the Canadian is extremely strong against the dollar. Okay? So remember where that is. Now let's pop up the UJ. Remember it's at DS1, and now here's the UJ. We'll see where this is. And the UJ is higher up. It is at the DSZ zone. Okay? So that dollar US or the UJ is right here, or sorry, UCAD is right here. I'll type it out. The only thing that's a little bit difficult about what I'm about to say is reminder, this starts with USD. So this is where the UCAD is, right there. And then the UJ is here. There's the UJ. These both start with USD, guys. They don't start with the pair you're looking for. So these are both beating up the dollar. So which one is beating up the dollar more? This one. You guys see? Reminder, it starts with USD. It doesn't start with the Canadian. So because the Canadian is lower, that means it's beating up the dollar more. That means this one is stronger. So if I pop up the Canadian versus the yen, you're looking for it to push up or for bullish confirmations. Now, they're very close, so it could be neutral. But you should be looking for reasons to be bullish because it starts with Canadian. And there you go. It's that easy. And by the way, it had a perfect long position as well. So that's the first example. And the next one was the pound versus the yen. So let's do that one. So here's the pound. This one will be a little bit easier just in a sense of because it doesn't start with USD. So right now the pound is right here. It's at the DSZ zone. Cool. And then we just did the yen. So reminder, the pound. Oh, this is actually, check this out. So watch. They're both at the same place. The pound is at the DSZ zone. The UJ is also at the DSZ zone. So it should be neutral. It could be slightly lower than neutral, but it should be overall towards the neutral side of price action. And there you go. Look, True Algo members, how would you trade this? You wouldn't. It's the definition of neutral. It is literally stuck in a box, and there's 3 boxes, 4 if you count here. So you would never trade this asset to start the day anyways. Cool? All right. We'll stay in that euro short for now. Reminder, Forex folks, we were showing you guys yesterday that just scan through the Forex pairs till you find one that has the best opportunity. Don't tell yourself you're a euro trader or you only trade the pound or you know the UJ really well. Don't do that crap. Just literally find which asset has the most room to run to take profit. It does not have boxes and stacked in its way. Again, watch this example. Look at the euro. And now I'll pop over to the pound. I have to zoom in. And then you see how there's more boxes in the way? You never can run the full average before you hit a box. So don't play that. New Zealand. Looks like you could potentially have a good move, but look, you have 2 boxes stacked with the biggest box there is, and then this is smaller than the average. So you don't play this asset. That's what I mean about scanning really quick to find. You should be only looking for shorts and then find which one has the best risk to reward openings for him, and then take that as the idea. Stocks still haven't budged, which means the indexes haven't budged, which they have not. So we sit here and do nothing on the index side. I'm still here, just managing my own stuff at the moment. Excuse me. Did any of you guys take anything overnight during the Asia session? You had to have been only a commodity or Forex trader. Couldn't have taken anything else. Man, those oil, I was going to say it again, the whole spilling over thing. Sorry, it's a habit. I'm trying to see how far the first average would have run on the first position. You're almost there. Oh, no, sorry. It just ran the full average right there. 83 points on average. The only thing is when I do the stats, guys, I have to stop right here and then open a new position right here. So neither one is running the full average. This is 48 points because you're going to have a new activation potentially in this area too. But oil going fantastic so far. Potentially going to put in a new short. Jeff was saying he went long on gold last night. Big retracement. I'm not sure when you got out, Jeff, or ended up just being a loss. Silver held, but man, those candles are so big on silver, man. Like, I'm zoomed in out really far. Like, these candles on silver alone, this is 2x the average win on a single 30-minute candle during the London session open. There's some big candles, man. It's just not an asset I want to be floating on. So Grant is asking on the 6 series. Let's pop it up. I got you. 1 second, Grant. All right. So on the 6 series, on the euro, Would the first take profit be the red box? Sorry, only you don't got to be sorry. You guys are supposed to ask questions. We're here to help you, buddy. So check it out. When you draw this position, the first take profit. Okay, I'll write it out real quick. We have 2 take profits in any play we take. 1, the average win in our dashboard stats. 2, the next box. But you have to do whichever comes first. So in this case, that position hitting the red box, our weekly trending box, that's your first take profit, not the average. The average is your second take profit in this case. And Brad, you are correct. I said that earlier over and over again about the oil shorts being for peanuts. I didn't take this. This is peanuts. This is peanuts. It's going to activate in a second, and it's going to be, or not a second, but 14 minutes, potentially peanuts again. So you don't have to take any of those positions. I'm just stating what it is, and Loose Pot said that he took the short, so was just drawing what he did so people can see it. But I am not over here taking credit for taking new oil shorts or things like that. And then Grant, hopefully I got your question answered. Reminder, the goal, and you have to be careful, the newer you guys are in our systems, yes, you always want to try to get to the average, but the first take profit point has to be the average or the box. Whichever's first and whichever comes first, that's what you shift to. We have our last candle closed before New York Open, and the indexes are still neutral. US 30 is at its very last point before it potentially would close for a loss. So now you're at a 5.5 R position. It's actually right here. It's slightly better. It's 5.5 R. I mean, it's worth the risk to reward in my opinion, but I would size really small, and here's the reason why. Our average win, guys, is 147 points. If this plays out, you're going to get 166 points overall. That means it's going to run slightly more than the average win, 166 points. So going big here, I get it that your stop loss is close. I'm just trying to help you avoid losses. You can do whatever you want. The reason why I still don't go big, even though the risk to reward is great, is because there are not any other assets that tell you to also take a short. That's why. Oil is just crumbling, man. Crypto folks, you might actually get a chance to get into these longs. Tether's getting closer and closer to confirming bearish to help out. Any other questions? Feel free to let me know. It's going to be a whole bunch of waiting at the moment. I don't know if you guys saw that FTMO raised their margin requirements. Sorry for anyone who is looking for a ton of volatility. It just does seem like the markets have kind of turned themselves off in preparation for the holiday on Monday. I mean, the commodities are still being unbelievably aggressive, which is fantastic, but everything else is in the off position. I need to check my macro chart for oil. If you guys can just give me a second. Man, the total 3 chart was perfect for crypto. Natural gas had really good shorts too. So True Algo members, just so I'm going to type it here. Oil macro levels from Sunday are 59.77 down to 56, man, 0.87. That is the next macro target. Whew. That is some cheap oil. We are 1 week away from getting close to the COVID breakdown in price action. It's pretty nuts. You can see US 30 now pushing up even more. Again, it's just a bad idea. Please read this. It's the only thing telling us to short. Therefore, that's why it's pushing up right now. And again, NVIDIA, its only support is NVIDIA. Everything else is against it. I'm just drawing, if from a risk reward perspective, what would be the only thing worth it. Oh, congrats, Jeff. I apologize. I just now saw the message on gold. If you got a right around 420, 4016, kudos. Beautiful. I think oil still has further to go, guys. I don't think oil's going to stop right here at level 4. It's going to pop this yellow box. So we should go lower on oil. I'm typing at the moment. So if you guys get a chance to read that message, markets are still neutral right now overall. We do not force moves. We wait for our boxes to confirm shorts or longs. This is what I teach you guys. And so because of this, we sit on our hands right now and we do not gamble. And the biggest goal is we do not give anything back. That's the goal. There's been some really good plays this week too. So that's what I mean by not giving anything back. What's going on with Audacious? Let me check, bud. Can we use if you're just solo playing it, you can use the weekly system for it on Apple. Remember, I teach you guys to turn the weekly system off for stocks so that you're just using them to improve your index plays. But if you're using right now Apple off the weekly system to get along, that's fine. But reminder, it's a Friday, so you're trying to play. If you're going to play off the weekly system, you're looking to go into a longer term play, not just today. So in that case, your expiration would be next week when we're already going to have new boxes. So I would be very cautious trying to take a longer term, again, a weekly system close on Apple longs. Unless shorts too. I mean, either it's the same thing, vice versa. I'll show you just so you guys can see what I'm telling him. I think he's actually potentially looking for shorts. Let's see. I think it's up here. No, I was right. It's still in longs. That's off the weekly system. So for me, the only thing you would be looking for is to get Apple to that next weekly box right there, the Audacious. But again, the weekly system, the contract ends today. So if I was going to get a long off of this weekly box down here, I would want it to be like a Monday or Tuesday, Wednesday at the latest, just to carry us by Thursday or Friday to the next weekly system all the way up here. So I just don't think that's a good idea. I'm going to go back to hiding that weekly out of the way. 5 minutes from New York Open, everybody. Man, oil's still dropping. I want to get to that target. You can see silver and gold right now are pushing up bullish. And then at the moment, You see how US 30 is pushed up, guys? Again, I hope that you can read this note. US 30 is the only thing short. Everything else is neutral, including Russell, or it's long. That means this short is a bad idea. So you very soon here will see in 5 minutes that this short becomes a loss. I know we talked about like how good the risk to reward could be here, but that note from when we first started the stream still holding true. You're welcome, bud. See if New York can flood that shorts better here towards New York Open. And then like with anything True Algo members, just keep monitoring Discord. I'll try to keep you posted in my current ideas of what's happening during this session and to see if there's any plays that look good or bad. But as of right now, it doesn't look like there's going to be much of anything to do. There is a U.S. holiday on Monday for banks. This might also be causing slower volatility right now on markets. Might be a day to close shop early, as in no trades today if markets sit in these neutral and conflict states. So True Algo members, one of the things I hope I'm helping you guys with, if you see me, he's like, man, there were really good trades this week, but a couple of times there was sitting on our hands. I have to sit on my hands. Like all we're trying to teach you in live candles is that just because you guys put in effort and work and you did everything in the background to set up for a good trading day doesn't mean the markets are going to give you a good trading day. I don't mean losses. What I mean is like sometimes it's a day like today and there's no position. And so that's what I mean by if you are able to take trades every single day, like on the same assets, you're doing something wrong because markets, it's statistically impossible to give you a high probability edge every single day. So that's what I'm talking about. Like today's probably one of those days that probably going to close up shop, a fancy way for saying not going to trade today because there's just not many opportunities or not any high probability, high edge opportunities at them right now. Hope that makes sense. Let me know if it's not. The goal is, again, not to end a Friday on a bad note or give money back to these markets. They want people to go big today. They want people to be like, there's a holiday on Monday, so might as well gamble even more because I won't be able to trade that day. Again, the average trader has to trade every single day. And so they'll take advantage of you real fast. I don't want that to happen to you guys. Right before New York Open, too. Don't stress today, especially on a Friday, bud. There's always more. By the way, you guys see, like, simultaneously they bought Apple but sold Amazon and Microsoft at the same time. Just to try to influence some type of volatility into the market. New York's not even open yet. It's got another minute to go. Indexes didn't even budge. They could care less. US 30 is pushing up. US 30's now hit that next box. So to me, no matter what that play is done, hopefully this note made sense. I'm going to make sure I post in the Discord. The US 30 short that was already said to be a bad idea has now lost. New York Open is open, and even the open, there's no volatility right now. We reduce the losses by both the amount of plays that are losses, but also by reducing risk and raising rewards. There may be some True Algo members that have been doing this longer that might short right here at the very top because they saw how close the boxes are. So don't be frustrated if you see them do that. Those Amazon got into like the best place for longs, man. You guys see that? It's pretty gnarly right here. It was already in calls to go for New York Open, and then right at New York Open it retraced, and then almost zero retracement on the idea. Apple is not neutral, by the way. Apple is in calls at open. You are still neutral on Microsoft, by the way, because it didn't confirm above a box beforehand. And then NVIDIA is still in active shorts, and it's going well. So NVIDIA is going against the other assets at the moment. We got the Russell and the QQQ pushing up, and US 30 diverging like we expect. And reminder, the SQQQ True Algo members is bearish, and therefore you should only look for what? Talk to me. SQQQ is still confirmed bearish. So what is the only positions for index futures you should be looking to take? Absolutely not, Flynn. Just so you guys know, on US 30, these boxes there's plenty enough room to get an activation between the two. It's almost 30 points. So I don't treat these as one box at all. You guys see how the shorts still wouldn't have worked? That's what I was saying. I wouldn't have done it. Get this off the screen now. But again, you guys tell me, if you're an index trader, you are not an ES, NQ, US 30 or Russell trader. What trader are you during New York? Talk to me. And you, my friends, are an SQQQ trader. You guys told me from the start of the stream, if we go back into our chat, you'll see that it says, you all said that the SQ was bearish, therefore the only thing we can be looking for is longs. And that's why Raf was asking, why not take the longs on the NQ? I said you could, I just can't support it with the stats. And now we are continuing to push up. We're not even diverging, by the way, on the US 30 and the NQ because that SQ is short and letting things play out at the moment. Thank you guys for answering. I appreciate it. Thank you. Y'all are awesome. True Algo members, I'll stay on for another 11 minutes just for that first close, but unless something drastically changes, which I don't think is going to happen, just like always, watch your Discord, see if there's a notification that we're going live for a second or third time throughout the day. But man, there's just nothing to do. Just to hurry up and wait. I mean, I'm trying to leave this Euro play on to see if we can get down. And again, for Forex side, there is nothing else to do except for to hold DXY, USD led pairs for longs, and then hold anything that starts with USD as a secondary in the name short. Can't do anything else.
And then True Algo members, just so you know where my head's at, I already teach you this, but if we do get up to this upper boxes for the shorts on NQ and the ES, I am not going to be looking to short the NQ. I would short the ES in this case, just from a stop loss management point. But it doesn't mean we're going to get shorts activated. They could push straight up into here and only close red in the box, therefore being neutral. So there might not be any plays. Starry, I am still here, just hanging out, watching these things get closer to the next box. Still getting NVIDIA to go the direction that it's confirmed. Even though it looks like all the indexes are bullish, you still got NVIDIA that's in bearish confirmations for puts going well. And then currently DXY and the Euro have a little bit of a red flag right now because now they're both the same bearish candle. It's a red flag, so be careful. They both shouldn't be red. It's dangerous. At least the pound is still green, but that Euro is not a good. There you go. Now we're starting to normalize again. Oh, I was saying that if I were to take a position, the NQ stop would be so far away for shorts, I wouldn't play the NQ. I would only potentially play the ES. That's what I meant, Flynn. US 30's now gotten to the same box above. You guys notice that there's no divergence today. And that's because of what we talked about earlier about where markets were. Notice today there is no divergence at NYSE open on US 30 versus the NQ. They are both pushing up at open very strong. We have a holiday on Monday, which less people are active today, so market conditions are not in a normal state. That SQ is going absolutely fantastic. And also, you guys should know that there's not going to be any shorts on the current candle in 7 minutes because, well, 6 minutes now, because it has to close down here to even be a red candle. So we know there's nothing to do on the next close. So nice, boring stream, but trading should be boring. It shouldn't be spastic or every single candle trying to get into every single play. It's not conducive to being a positive trader. And if you're not sure, go look at every other Discord and every other system out there. They're going to keep trying to get trades to go, and it's not the way markets play. It's how you blow accounts. Crypto is starting to push up really aggressive now that Tether is starting to fold. Tether did hit our weekly box too, True Algo members, telling you to look for reasons to long yesterday, and those are playing out really well. So crypto is going to push up pretty aggressively between now and the Asia session, I would imagine.
Got more stocks flipping into potential bullish nature here in 4 minutes. So Amazon's already bullish. Apple's already bullish, but Apple's about to confirm into new sets of calls, but calls going well nonetheless. The Dacious, again, you think about if you have that weekly system up right now, you can't take longs, right? Because it's butting into that box. But if you play the day trade system like I teach you, your calls, you had new calls activated at an open. Microsoft is going to flip into calls here in 4 minutes. NVIDIA is going to be the only thing bearish, so you have 3 versus 1, so more and more reasons to tell us to be bullish. That also tells me that the boxes that are about to be hit on the indexes up here are less likely to stop price right now. That price can still continue going upwards. Three minutes on the close. What is SQ and why is it inversely correlated to NQ and ES? If you, Tony, if you just Google search the SQQQ, it'll tell you. It's literally the S stands for the word short, and it's so that people can short the NQ, and you also can have leverage against it. You can take a 3 times short of the stock market. So a lot of bigger players, not retail traders, as you can see, most people don't know about it, including yourself, and we use it to our advantage. It helps confirm the opposite direction of where the NQ wants to go, because if people are shorting the SQ, they're shorting it with 3 times the leverage, meaning their long positions on the NQ would push up stronger, even though they could use that 3x as a hedge against their individual stocks in case it were to reverse or something like that. And as you guys can see, we're about to have that close here in less than 2 minutes, and there's no new activation. Everything is still pushing upwards. There's no longs, and the SQQQ is still short, telling us only to look for long positions. That's one of the only reasons why the euro is still holding in this one place for 30 minutes, because it's being influenced by the indexes that are pushing up right now. You're welcome, Tony. True Algo, remember, something that I might do if I feel the need that I need to trade today and I can't get any activations or confluence. If this SQQQ keeps confirming bearish, then I might be looking for ways to get into small positions like on a DGen account, because I just feel the need to be in an idea. As of right now, we just had a new close. The NQ is still in a bullish confirmation, right? The ES is now neutral. Well, sorry, it's been neutral, but now it's at the box and still neutral. That SQQQ is going to take us all the way down here, meaning you're going to still keep pushing up on everything. But at the moment, there's still no new play to take. SPY, if you're an options person, you can get into calls on SPY's options, so that's good. Everything else, though, you can't take. We did get into, man, those Amazon calls are going absolutely gorgeous. That's a $2 move on Amazon. And then we do have calls now on Microsoft, and it's going immediately up
Nvidia is still the only asset that's short. And then we were looking to get into new calls up here, potentially on Apple, but they took profit at our box. So now Apple is now in a neutral state. Yep. And then just waiting for that SQ to get down to the next box. Yeah. And Nick, if you watch the sentiment channel, I told you why. It's most likely because that holiday that's on Monday, so there's less volatility, and that's why there wasn't any divergence. It's the first time in probably about 3 weeks that we haven't had a divergence on the US 30 and NQ. And that's probably why. All right, folks. I am going to jump off now. Just keep your alerts on for Discord in case I jump on a little bit later. There isn't a second stream. This is stream number 10 for the week on live candles. So, but if markets start to give us some more aggression and stuff like that, I'll do my best to see if I can help provide any live help as markets are doing that. So keep your alerts on. I am very appreciative that you guys are able to be on here with me today. Sorry there wasn't like any big gigantic moves on anything, but again, that holiday on Monday is probably what's causing it. But I appreciate you guys hanging out. It's been a really good week. You don't want to ruin it just because you feel the need that you have to be in trades. And if that's the case, just open a DGen account. It's the best way to do it. And then you can get all those needs and wants out of it by being on a DGen account. But then for your prop firms and the way you should be moving through real markets, right now it's telling you to sit on your hands. Cool? I appreciate you guys. Thank you for hanging out with me today on this ever so small moving Friday.